So I see that the guy pimping Ken was on the Real Life Street Stars. And it just kind of dawned on me just a little bit. Like when we're looking at the Bishops Don Juan and pimping Ken, and we look at the whole notion of pimps and hoes pimping, I don't even think we register what it really is. We're talking about people, madams included, because I know people would love to throw that in there like, well, women, madams included, are well known and getting paid for slavery, slave trade. So I guess the genomes were pimps. They were pimps and madams. She keeps frickering. Every time she hears me talk, she try to start trouble. So anyway, again, I assume that we have to look at genomes. If they were ever any slaves and they were selling slaves, then they were pimps. So why are pimps not called slave owners? Because it doesn't sound as glorified as pimps? And why are not hoes not called slaves? It doesn't sound as glorified as hoes. I guess it's too harsh to think of it that way. The degradation and degrading of another human being. And miss me with the whole, they want to be pimp, they want to prostitute. Because then I guess they would be Uncle Tom's. You know, if you ever seen Django, that's one of the prime examples. That you can see where what's his name, Samuel L. Jackson, where he played the Uncle Tom. He was on the side of the slave master. I mean, I guess you would call that what do you call that? You call that, I guess you call it Stockholm Syndrome. I guess you call it Stockholm Syndrome. Loving your abuser. Mentally stable and healthy, emotionally, mentally, soulfully, and spiritually stable people don't want to degrade or sell themselves. So then we have to look at it as being taken advantage of. You're taking advantage of someone who's not right mentally and emotionally. No woman wants to sell herself. And then these men and some madams, let's not act like it's not more and readily done by men. These men, I can talk if I want to. These men, they're glorified. The world glorifies pimps. My father was a pimp. I understand. I still feel like it shouldn't be glorified because what we're looking at is the buying and selling in the slave trade. They beat them. They tell them when they can eat. Let's just call it what it is. Let's call a thing a thing.